My name's Paul Seacombe. I'm here in Swansea, Wine Street, outside a pub called the Bank Staple. The pub used to be the editorial offices of the Cambrian, which was Wales' first English language daily newspaper. It was based here in Wine Street for over 100 years.
On Saturday, April 15th, 1843, the Cambrian carried exclusive news of the Rebecca riots, when at a time of growing discontent among the rural and urban poor, toll gates were attacked by men wearing women's clothes. The group called itself Rebecca and Her Daughters, in reference to an Old Testament story. The Cambrian eventually became the South Wales Daily News, which is known today as the Evening Post.
In general, the circulation of local newspapers is declining. We're going to have a look around the corner at a place called the Environment Centre, where one-way media can evolve in the digital age by encouraging people to get actively involved in their communities through becoming citizen journalists, through becoming video activists, if you like, through the use of the internet, is actually coming to fruition, a thing called Swansea Telly.
We're going to speak to Paul O'Connor, one of the co-founders of the Undercurrents Alternative News Agency, which is also the parent organisation of Swansea Telly.
So Undercurrents began in 1993, and the scenario at that stage was we had a Tory government in power who basically wanted to take away any rights for protest, effective protest, i.e. in direct action. They wanted to wipe out hunt saboteurs, make squatting illegal, take away the right to silence, and just the whole raft of human rights there, just basically just trash them. The mainstream media wasn't covering any of these main issues, so we thought, well, we've got camcorders, we're passionate about people actually standing up with a voice. It was quite a simple idea, was we'll train activists to make films, or we'll make films about protests, and we'll put them on a VHS cassette and then distribute them every which way we could.
All the cops were in here, all lined up with dogs and everything, and they were just in normal uniform, like shirts. And cops just came out on horses, ploughed into people. It was absolutely wild. Because I was thinking there, going, okay, if it goes, what do I do?
Swansea was also the birthplace of the radical anarchist journal Class War. Class War was founded by a postgraduate in politics from Swansea University, Ian Bone. Bone had previously collaborated with other investigative journalists on the anti-capitalist paper Alarm. On the 31st of March 1990, Class War mobilised the masses in their tens of thousands to oppose Margaret Thatcher and her Conservative government's poll tax legislation. This was the closest Britain had come to a revolution since the general strike of 1926.
I think a lot of people now realise that they have the power to report what the news doesn't. There was a great example of Ian Tomlinson, the news vendor who was struck down by a police officer, and it was somebody related to the bank industry. He had his mobile phone, he recorded that. That footage now has a huge impact on police and protest. We're in very early days, like 2005 is when YouTube set up, which is only 6 years ago. Camcorders now, they've been around for a while, but again, mobile phones and videos haven't been around that long, so it's all quite early pioneering days now. So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff that's just been put out there but no real thought on it, and I think as the years go by, people start understanding the technology a lot more and actually what can be achieved. So I think we're going to see some dramatic changes in citizen journalism.
In 2010, unions and activists trained by Swansea Telly recorded their visit to Birmingham to protest outside the Tory party conference.
A lot of the attacks that they're doing will hit the most vulnerable in society. They'll hit older people.
They will affect you directly.
Yes, and a pensioner, and schools as well, and schools as well.
Disabled people in general are getting such a raw deal with cuts in welfare benefits.
They'll hit young people who need social services support. They'll hit people who are victims of the system.
And you?
Yeah. And what about hospitals, the kind hospitals? And they're cutting everything.
We're already living in poverty and we're just going to be in greater and greater debt, and it just shows just how callous this condemned government is.
I think video activism goes out and works out who their audience is, what they want to achieve with a video, and then make those videos and then follow it all the way through to say, we've made a change using this technology. And that's what I'd like to see more of.